Hi guys, welcome to Simproved, Fry speaking here, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Spooktober is officially announced, it's upon us, and we are building Knockturn Alley from the Harry Potter movies and books, of course. And for those who don't know what it is, it's a dark place where evil magicians basically get all the cursed statues and poisons and dark familiars. So I tried to rebuild this, and I really hope you're gonna like this. So without further ado, let's get started. So we start on a lot in Glimmerbrook, where the hideous, very hideous bar is, and I deleted that bar and thought it would be so much better to have a little shopping area for your spellcasters or magicians. They are called spellcasters in the game, but who cares? They are, of course, basically witches and wizards and all that kind of stuff. So I thought we needed something dark, we needed something spooky for Spooktober, and I always wanted to do Knockturn Alley for a hardcore, let's just call them Harry Potter fans. I'm really sorry, I didn't find so much about the layout. So this is based upon a little bit based on the Warner Bros. And I think it's also a Universal attraction kind of area in the park, in the theme park. And I looked at some of the pictures there, reference pictures, and some walkthroughs from guys who apparently go to Universal every day. I don't know, but these were really helpful to map out a little bit of the layout of this kind of area, where there is also like a shop, I think, where you can buy some Death Eater stuff and I don't know, stuff from the movies, I guess. And I myself have watched all of the Harry Potter movies. I only read until book number 4, I think, and therefore I have been a little bit out of the loop about Harry Potter, to be honest. But I love something really peculiar about Harry Potter, and it's about the world building. And I think that the whole movies make it really good. Like, the whole production design is actually something where I, as a kid, when I watched the first movie, for example, I was like, oh, this is actually how I imagined it, how it looks like. So Knockturn Alley is not shown in the movies that often, only like in a really small scene, or I guess 2 scenes, not that sure. But yeah, I will link to them in the video description for you if you haven't seen this, or if you are not familiar with the whole thing here. But we can't see that much in these movies, in these small little scenes. So I had a lot of, let's just call it creative freedom here. So we only go with a little kind of yard in the middle of lots and lots of tiny houses, and I really like how quirky it all looks at the end. Of course, everything will be super duper dark, and of course I wanted it to look as if there are lots and lots of houses all around it. So when your Sims are shopping, it kind of feels as if they are shopping in somewhere in London, hidden, you know, in the magical realm. And I really like that idea, and I thought it basically fits totally into the whole Sims kind of feel, because it's a little bit more, let's just say, not so super scary and dark. It's just, you know, it's a little spellcaster village, so to speak. And I really like that as well. And I thought, why not do this now and kind of start with a light theme of the whole Spooktober, and then we will see what else will happen. Also, thank you so much for everyone's suggestion. I can't talk today, I'm really sorry, but yeah, thank you so much for all your suggestions in the comments down below. You can still do that, of course, for spooky builds. Especially I'm interested in some from movies this year, because yeah, if you have any favorite horror movies or builds that are connected to these movies, then let me know in the comments down below. I have quite a huge list now, and of course I can't do them all, but I will see which ones I can do, since I also need lots and lots of references, and the better the reference, the better I can recreate this, of course, in The Sims. And also, if it's not like a huge build, then of course also I think it's more possible to do that in The Sims as well. So we always have these restrictions with the grid, and that we can only build like 4 stories high, and you know, all that stuff. It's kind of yeah, we have some restrictions in the game, and therefore it's not that easy to always, let's just call it, rebuild stuff, you know, in The Sims. But yeah, here we are in the exterior decoration, which took quite some time because I wanted all of these houses to look very different. So they all get like different windows, different dormers, different chimneys, you know, different wallpaper and all that stuff. So it really looks as if it's inside of a huge city, like a little yard that your sim probably got lost in or is shopping there on purpose. And I really like the idea to have different shops, because in The Sims we have the retail lot now since the Get to Work pack, I think. By the way, I used all the packs that I just owned because I wanted it to recreate as closely as possible, or let's just call it as, I would call it, yeah, detailed as possible. Of course, this is not like a one-to-one rebuild of it, since I didn't have so many references, and it's also not that referenced in the books. And also will not try to pronounce some of the real kind of related shops that are in there, because yeah, I tried that of doing that voiceover. I'm doing it like a second time, and I think I'm just too German. My accent is just so weird, so I'm not going to do that, so I'm really sorry. But yeah, if you want to know anything about Knockturn Alley, I think that the Wikipedia fandom Wikipedia is so much better. And it was actually really interesting because I couldn't remember lots of that, to be honest. I was like, oh my god, I really love these huge franchises when there are like hardcore fans doing like a whole wiki about it. And this helps a lot for builders, especially, I think. So if you do anything like this and want to build something in The Sims, I think the first to go to is, of course, the Wikipedia, and then just read all the articles about the build or the house that you want to do. And also this gives you a nice idea of what kind of objects you really have to kind of have this, let's just call it, you know, this feeling like, oh yeah, that's actually like, that has to be in there. This is how you recognize the build. And there are some references in here as well. Later on we will see them in the shops, of course. And of course the inner yard is an not exact, but you know, a replica of the little Harry Potter Knockturn Alley area in the theme park. So I thought that's really, really cool. And I've not seen anyone else doing Knockturn Alley, but I've seen lots of Diagon Alleys in The Sims 4 already, and they are absolutely beautiful. Not sure if I'm going to do it since we already have so many amazing builds about this, but yeah, maybe we can complete the whole thing with the Hogwarts and maybe then a Diagon Alley and then Hogsmeade or something. We'll see. For now, I think my whole Harry Potter feel is, I think after Hogwarts I will be kind of, you know, done with Harry Potter for a while. But it's definitely lots and lots of fun to build something like this. So here we are already in the interior design, and you can already see that the shops are quite small because, yeah, the houses are of course also quite small since the lot is quite small, and therefore, yeah, everything is smaller. This is the potion shop, since we have potions now with Realm of Magic, and your Sims can brew potions. I put in some tomes about potion making, and also of course lots of these potions that we found, which are not that many. I mean, there are many for gameplay to figure out and like learn how to brew and how to brew it themselves, but also of course I use lots of bar stuff because there are bottles in there, and these can be potions as well. So we can do those two things and kind of pretend that these all are potions that your Sims can therefore buy there. And I thought that's really, really cool. It kind of looks really, really nice. Also, the interior design is very dark, but not too dark. You know, I always wanted to have this kind of whimsical Harry Potter kind of feel. So it's not like super scary, like I said. It's just, you know, it's kind of like a definitely a dark kind of place, but not super scary in that kind of sense. So we will see this kind of happen here a lot. Here we are in the so-called, I called it the herb shop, but it's basically like a flower shop where your evil wizards and witches can get maybe herbs that are forbidden or are really rare to come by. And I thought we have so many crazy plants in The Sims already. Of course, the most famous crazy plant in the Sims franchise is the cow plant. So we will have this here as well, but you could also already see some of the crazy strangeable plants, and there are like different stages of them, so I could use them, and there are also different colors, which is really cool. And we have so many plant decorations, so we could go really, really crazy, especially if there were some kind of, you know, like weird leaf colors, for example, which we have, and I never use them because they look so unrealistic. Like, who has purple leaves? You know, what kind of plant has purple leaves? But here I thought it's like actually quite fun and looks kind of more like magical plants. So it was nice to experiment with all the color swatches that the plants have in the game, because some of them I've actually never used. I know they existed, but I was like, when do I use them? So finally I know. I use them for magical plants. There we go, guys. And we have quite a lot of weird kind of plant decoration, so I was really, really happy that we have them. Of course, there's no bougainvillea. For those who watch my channel a little bit longer, they know that I have a childhood trauma with a bougainvillea that we had in the garden, and I hate that plant. So no bougainvilleas ever. No, but not for this build, because they're really, really big, and I just thought, oh no, just no, that plant and we are just not friends. And pretty next to it is, actually on the other side of the yard, is the familiar shop. So in the realm of magic, your Sims can have familiars, basically little, I would call them magical creatures that follow them around. I mean, we know that concept from witches, who have mainly, of course, black cats, but also in Harry Potter, the children who go to Hogwarts also have kind of like familiar, a pet, so to speak. And it changes from having just an owl or a cat or a frog or something like that, or toad, I guess it was. So here we could use lots of the familiar orbs that you can see everywhere, and also we can use lots of the frogs and the insects finally, because when do you use them? Here is the perfect place for them. So I could put lots and lots of stuff from cats and dogs, from the, you know, the insect terrariums and the weird crazy alien animals that are in terrariums as well, and the frogs. So these are all the creepy crawlies that I could find are in there. And of course we will grace this whole shop with a huge lionfish head as well, because blessed be his fin, he is our Lord and Savior, the Lionfish Lord, and under his fin we will live and live by his rules, whatever. I'm not sure yet. I think I at one point have to, I don't know, write some kind of Bible or manifest about him. It's gonna be crazy, I guess, but yeah. And yeah, this one is very, very detailed, and I really liked how it turned out. Of course, at the end of this video, we will have a huge video tour of everything, because I know that these bidwills are kind of very sped up, you know, it's hard to follow what's happening actually. So at the end I always do this video tours, and we will have a better look at everything when it's like slow, cool panning shots, so you can see everything. And also in case I ever forget to mention like a reference that I wanted to do here. But yeah, since I could use all of the packs, it was actually quite, wow, just interesting how many plants we have. Like actually in general, how many stuff we have that could be like magical and kind of like whimsical in a way, or maybe haunted or something, you know, something that looks kind of eerie. We have actually a lot of that now, so I'm really, really happy that I'm doing Spooktober, because we have so many, we got so much stuff in this year especially, and it was really, really cool. Next to that shop, the familiar shop, we have, okay, should I try to pronounce? No, I'm not going to try to pronounce it. But this is a shop that you actually can see in the movie. This is not the layout of this shop, how you can see it in the movie. But I tried to put some references in, because we see that in some scenes. For example, Harry Potter himself is kind of, I don't want to spoil it, but he's stranded in that kind of thing. By accident, he gets in there. And there is, let's just call it like a hand, like a dried out hand or something. And he touches it, and the hand is like grasping him, and he can't get away for like a short amount of time. And it's like kind of shock moment, I guess. So, I found this hand that we have from base game, I think, from the artist. I think it's the artist freelance career or something, and that was so perfect. So it's like really prominent in the middle of the room, and I thought that's really, really cool. So this is basically a artifact kind of shop where you get all the cursed books and all the artifacts and like really cursed stuff, basically. But it's a really run-down kind of shop, you know, not that fancy, because we will have something similar fancy, but in like in a fancy way here pretty soon as well. And I thought this is like pretty cool for all this stuff that isn't like gold or glimmer or with crystals and stuff. So this is all the stuff with books, and you know, that kind of looks eerie. And of course I'm going to use lots and lots of the skeletons. So we have skeletons from Jungle Adventure. Those are the ones with the spear in the hand. And then we have one skeleton from base game, which is, I think, for the medical... Oh, is it from Get to Work? Basically, we have another, like, medical, you know, skeleton that you sometimes have in classrooms or whatever. I'm not sure. I've never studied medicine, so I don't know. I'm not actually sure if they have that still. But, yeah, we all know them. The plastic skeletons to look at bones and stuff. And then after I've done this, I thought, okay, we still have so many objects and we have some room. So why not go with all the jungle adventure, all the Solani, you know, island living stuff, and all the, especially sugar skulls from the update from Dia de los Muertos. And I thought that's pretty cool to put together kind of like an exotic artifact shop. So we are going to use lots of these kinds of packs here and kind of go with really, it turned out to be really colorful because lots of the Dia de los Muertos stuff is of course very colorful. And also the Solani stuff is pretty colorful. But I thought this is maybe the exotic shop. So these are stuff from faraway lands that are, of course, also haunted, cursed, whatever, poisonous, terminal, final, whatever. And your Sims or spellcasters, if spellcasters might need them to, I don't know, protect themselves or rally an evil army of muggle-hating wizards and spellcasters who want to dominate the world. So yeah, basically that kind of stuff. And it was actually really fun to experiment here with lots of these different themes here. So maybe there's also like some voodoo, or I don't know what kind of you know, religion / magic kind of stuff do we have. Tarot maybe as well, I'm not sure. But yeah, these kinds of things maybe you find here in the exotic shop, you know, just like as an idea. Also for those who kind of think that it is not that nice of me to include the sugar skulls and the Dia de los Muertos stuff. I'm just, it's skulls, guys, and skeletons are scary, so I need them in a scary build. I'm going to use them quite a lot in the other Spooktober stuff. So this will happen, and if this is really bothering you, then let me know in the comments, and also then please tell me why exactly, because I looked it up and it's actually like a really happy kind of, you know, festival in Mexico. So I guess we are all fine here that I kind of use them because they kind of, you know, these are like fancy exotic looking skeletons and skulls, so I thought these are perfect for this kind of shop, of course. And in the base game we already now have like a whole shelf just for the sugar skulls, so they fit in there perfectly, and I thought that's really, really cool. Kind of have to use them even though they're really colorful. Everything turned out quite colorful. It kind of looks like a toy shop. Maybe this is also like a toy shop for dark wizard kids or something who have haunted stuff in their children's room, whatever. Why not? I mean, that's a cool idea as well. Why not? And yeah, why not have that? That's actually pretty cool. Why isn't there something like this reference in any of the books? That would be really cool. Just imagine having like a really awesome freaking childhood with like a cursed raven as your familiar and I don't know, like a haunted ghost friend or something. Whereas the muggles and humans only have maybe an imaginary friend. That's it. Aww. But yeah, I thought that's like a cool reference. Here we are in a shop that is super, super fancy. And it's also the last one that I did. It's basically the wand shop for the Dark Wizard. So for those who don't know the Harry Potter movies or books, I don't know how you could live without them, you know, not ever even hearing about that. But of course, they have wands in the whole franchise, and there are particular ones that are much more powerful, I guess, and therefore every wizard goes into a wand shop and they select, you know, like there's only one wand that's calling to you, so you basically have to find your one wand. And I thought this is maybe the Dark Wizard kind of thing, but it's very fancy, and also we have lots of gold and lots of maybe more polished stuff. And then I thought, okay, we can also add lots of crystals because we haven't added them in any of the other shops so far. So this is basically a little bit that I wanted it to look like a jewelry shop. And also we have these display cases for the wands, and I thought these are really, really beautiful, so why not use them and put all of the wands in there that we have in game now with the Realm of Magic pack. So this is basically the shop where they go to if they want to have like expensive haunted cursed stuff and statues and crystals. So this is the shop where to go to, or if something is made out of gold, I put it in there. And also sometimes these things are kind of these awards that your Sims get if they are like good at bowling or good at singing or charity or whatever. They are like these, you know, trophies that they can get. And I also use them because they were gold, and then kind of maybe could be also like little golden statues or I don't know, fetishes. Is this like a English word as well? I'm not sure. That I could put somewhere and kind of, I don't know, enchant, whatever. I'm not that into the whole spellcaster thing, honestly. I actually am very much into spellcasters in The Sims now because they're super, like, I would even call them overpowered. Like, everything that you could cheat before or had to cheat before, your Sims can now do with a spell. And it's really easy to learn these spells as well. Like, they are so overpowered. Like, even the vampires, vampires are always, like, the most weakest, I don't know, supernatural being, like in movies as well. I'm like, everybody who's like asking themselves like what kind of horror figure character I want to be a vampire. I'm like, what? These are so weak, and then also burn in the sun, so basically you can only go outside in the dark. It's no, those are just boring. But yeah, we are already at the end of the build, guys. This is the video tour, so you can have a better look at this. This is Knockturn Alley, and I really, really hope that you like it. There are some references that maybe you can't even see in the video tour now. I really tried to film every angle of it, but also there are maybe some secret things. For example, the second floors are quite interesting sometimes. So 2 shops have a second floor as well. And I'm especially not showing them to you because there are references from the movie inside there. And I want them, if you are interested in that, you can download this, of course, and kind of have a look at it yourself and explore every kind of look and cranny that there is. And I thought this is maybe like a really cool idea as well for you to keep excited when downloading this. This is, of course, as I said, up on the gallery, so you can download this under the name Knockturn Alley. My EA ID is Simproved, as always, and as always, I will also put the gallery download link in the video description down below, so it's super easy for you to find and download as well. And yeah, I really like how it looks in Glimmerberg because we have these pine trees everywhere. Kind of looks really dark in the you know, in the night, and I like that a lot about Knockturn Alley. It's kind of more like a darker place and not as like whimsical elven I'm a funny wizard kind of place, so I really like that as well. And it's not like super dark and like dead people everywhere or stuff like that. So it's actually really, really cool and really easy as well to build in The Sims because of the whole look that The Sims 4 game has, because it's like a little bit more you know, cartoonish, whimsical, and therefore I like that because it also fits into Glimmerbrook in the game itself very much. And yeah, also there are like plenty of lionfishes everywhere. And here we go inside of the familiar / animal shop where your wizards can get their little animals, and it's filled to the brim. We have all of the familiar orbs there. So if you want them, you can get them there. And also, of course, some of the insects and frogs that we have, and lots of wall-mounted fishes that kind of look a little bit more creepy, especially the ones that are predator fishes. I'm not sure. Is it called a predator fish as well for fishes? I'm not sure. I guess, yeah, a predator fish. These and, you know, more magical looking ones. Here we are in the artifact shop. Basically, this is how it looks outside, and in the inside it's like super cramped. There you can see the hand that grabs Harry Potter's hand when he's stranded there, really prominent in the middle of the whole thing. But yeah, lots and lots of stuff to explore, lots of little tiny things that I placed everywhere. It's very, very detailed and took me a lot of time to build, actually, even though it's not that many shops, but it's so much stuff that I wanted to put in there because I really wanted it to look overcrowded, very detailed, you know, like it is in the movies as well. And here is the fancy shop. It looks so beautiful. I really like that one. Kind of very snobbish. Maybe the snobbish dark wizards go there. Maybe the Malfoys or something, you know. You can get your crystals and stuff. Just thought that it's like a really cool idea. And I really like also the idea of the exotic artifact shop, because I think we have some voodoo shops in the game. Like some people already did this, so this is basically my you know, take on this a little bit, you know, with like artifacts from all around the world, especially like more the South American world part of the world. And yeah, it looks very colorful, kind of more quirky, really, really cool. And of course the flower shop, because I really wanted to use all the crazy flowers. So there is a cow plant in there. You can't see it in the video tour because it still has to grow, but there's a cow plant in there, the stranger will plants, and the snapping vampire plant, you know, that Venus flytrap kind of thing, but that's like a vampire plant, I guess. So yeah, that's basically everything already. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and write me in the comments what kind of horror builds you want to see in this October, the Spooktober. And I'm really happy that you came by to watch. I really hope that you like it. Download link below. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.